Hello and welcome to Everywoman. I'm Shuli Ghosh. This week, human rights abuses in Saudi, the women treated like children and their fight for independence. Extreme beauty, the women competing to go under the knife in a Chinese television contest. And the growing popularity of doulas, the women who help other women through pregnancy and childbirth. In Saudi Arabia, every woman has to have a male guardian, usually a husband or father, who makes critical decisions on her behalf. She can't get married, divorced, travel, get a job or an education without a man's say-so. In many cases, she can't even get routine medical procedures without express consent from her guardian. A new report from Human Rights Watch says women in Saudi are treated like children and that government policy towards them results in daily abuses of their basic human rights. Farida Daif is the author of this report and she joins me now, along with Wajia Al-Hawaida, one of Saudi Arabia's best-known women's rights activists. Ladies, thank you very much indeed for joining me. Farida, let me start with you. Just take us through the report and tell us what the main conclusions were regarding women's status in Saudi.
Well, the report is really an in-depth study of the male guardianship system in the kingdom, whereby the Saudi government imposes a system that basically transfers all decision-making power from a woman herself to her male guardian. And so a male guardian, a father, a brother, even a son, is tasked with making very important decisions on her behalf. In fact, even areas in which there are no government regulations that stipulate the need for a guardian's consent, oftentimes, government bureaucrats will request it anyway because the overarching system in place is one that transfers all decision-making power from the hands of the adult woman to the male guardian, essentially treating her like a legal minor throughout her adult life.
Okay, well, Jiha, let me bring you in because you're a very successful woman. You live in Saudi. You also have to have a male guardian. What does that mean for you on a day-to-day basis? What does it restrict you from doing?
Of course, it restricts me from leaving the house, from traveling, from if I want to continue my education, I cannot do that. If I want to go to a hospital and have medical treatment, also I need an approval from my male guardian. So it just, to them you are like a property. You cannot just have any decisions of your own unless if you get a permission from the person who's in charge of your affairs.
Well, Jiha, what do the men in Saudi Arabia think about all the restrictions on women and their role in having to be a male guardian?
I think many men are suffering from this system. They, because it is like exhausting them more. They have their own jobs to do and they are running after every woman in the family and doing their affairs. So it's overloading them. And they want to give the women at least to do basic things. Do you know that women in Saudi Arabia until today are not allowed to enter government buildings and they cannot go and issue their passports, they cannot get their IDs. Little things like that takes a lot of time from men's life, and half of the society is paralyzed, and then they go and bring laborers. We have about 6 million foreign laborers in our country because they are paralyzing women for not doing jobs.
Farida, I'm interested in knowing whether are women accepting of this? I mean, are they fighting for change, or should women be doing more to change their lot in life within Saudi Arabia?
Well, I mean, I think, there are certainly many women like Wajia who are taking very courageous steps to denounce these government policies. The problem, of course, in Saudi Arabia is that there's so many restrictions on civil society and on the ability of both men and women to participate in civil society. They're not allowed to form independent, non-governmental organizations, for example. Really the only avenue that is opened for women is to petition the king directly directly, to petition the governor directly or the Minister of Interior requesting certain rights. The problem right now is that the government is willing to take extremely cautious, very slow steps in order not to upset the religious establishment and elements of society. But the problem, of course, is that there are elements in Saudi society that will always be adverse to women's rights, that do not want women to be in the public space, that don't want them to be engaged in any part of the society. And so the government should not be held hostage to those elements of society, which is unfortunately what's happening right now.
OK, let me bring in Wajiha. A lot of international pressure on Saudi Arabia to make changes in favour of women's rights. I mean, are things improving? Do you think things will lead to equality in the future?
I think since the new king, King Abdullah, came to power, there are some changes, but I still criticize the government. They can do much more. You know, like now they allowed women to go to hotels and rent a room. I know it's nothing to you maybe and to any country, women in any country, but this is a big step. You know, like many women, they suffer from violence, and now they have at least a shelter for them if they can afford to live in a hotel or in a furnished apartments. So this is a big step. As Farida said, they need to take the step. They shouldn't be a hostage, keep themselves as a hostage for these religious establishments. But we hope that will change during King Abdullah's time.
Well, we hope that too, but for the moment, thank you very much indeed for your thoughts there, Wajiha Al-Huwaida and Farida Dave. Thank you both very much indeed. To China now, where a new TV show is making waves. Inspired by extreme makeover programs produced in the US, it's a reality show with a twist. Young female contestants compete to see who's the ugliest, and the prize is cosmetic surgery. It's part of the growing craze in China to go under the knife in pursuit of beauty. Everywoman reports on a TV show at the cutting edge.
观众朋友，大家好，我是齐鲁电视台主持人武大海，大型整容真人秀节目《灰姑娘与天鹅》。
观众朋友们，大家好！一路走到现在，大家看着我确实需要这次手术，所以希望大家能支持我走到最后，谢谢大家。
When I first saw this TV advert calling for contestants to take part in a plastic surgery makeover competition, I immediately felt I should go for it. I've always dreamt of getting plastic surgery because of my teeth. The protrusion is very obvious, and it's made me the target of many jokes.
焦红这个牙的条件哈，是可以说面部整形里面最复杂的一种情况，就是手术过程会很复杂。你怕不怕？
其实那个以前吧，真的没考虑过这么多，就梦想着自己有一天忽然变漂亮了，站在别人面前，
睡醒觉就变漂亮了。
对，就是为了自己的梦想啊，或者是自己的事业，必须赌一把。
It's not just Chinese women who are crazy about plastic surgery. Women the world over are doing it to make themselves more beautiful. But I must say, society's ability to accept such things is increasing, which is why I'm not afraid to tell other people I've had plastic surgery myself.
恭喜17号1757票，148号1511票，就是你017号。朱
娟和148号李昭红。
恭喜两位！锤子挥起的那一刻，就是你们告别自己灰暗的过去的那一刻。准备好了吗？
这个也拿出来。这个也这样切开。
I'm pretty confident about this Korean plastic surgeon because I'm learning Korean and my dream is to be an outstanding foreign language translator.
I'll be extracting the teeth that protrude, removing 2 teeth from the top and bottom, and also cutting out the extra gum. Then I'll push everything backwards.
快了，马上就进手术室了，就是给你打一个电话，啊，不用担心。 不紧张，我一点也不害怕。
I can't deny that I hope to have the looks of those Korean movie stars because I like watching Korean dramas. Everyone dreams of being a movie star, myself included, but we'll leave that to the future.
光圈开大一点，开始。
好，现在我们的
Looking at her operation, I almost cried watching her amazing transformation. I really admire her courage because this is an extremely complicated operation.
The employment factor is the main reason why I opted for plastic surgery. When I was young, I often fantasized that I would suddenly become pretty. But now, after graduation, I have to face the reality of looking for a job. In reality, my profession as a translator demands that I also look good externally. That's why I told myself I must participate in this competition to fulfill my dream.
各位晚安，这里是正在直播的地花魅力之秀《灰姑娘与天鹅》终极盛典，放飞梦想。李娇红在整形之后，她想成为国家领导人身后的翻译。她是奖是148号选手李娇红。
从一路走到现在，觉得自己不仅改变了自己的面貌，更重要的是，自己的内在气质有了一定的很大的提高，所以现在真的很高兴拿到这个奖。
我们不会经常，甚至看不见她的笑，我依然希望你对着镜头露出你自信的微笑。
I may not have won the contest, but I can finally stand here as a completely new me. I hope I can use my patience, kindness and beauty to inspire others.
Well, I feel a little uncomfortable about that, but what do you think? There's an email address at the end of the programme. Do write in and let me know your thoughts. Well, coming up, the stories handed down from mother to child to keep Palestinian history alive. And
why do they have to be painful?
The growing trend of using doulas, the women who provide hands-on help through pregnancy from start to finish. Join us after the break.